Good evening, folks. So tonight we're going to talk about my favorite subject when it comes to basketball, and that's Caitlin Clark. Because, every single time I post something on Twitter about Caitlin Clark being the GOAT, I get told that I can't call her the GOAT. Okay. Well, why? Okay. So the statistics defy the assertion that I can't call her the GOAT. Okay. Would you feel better if I said GOAT in the making? So let's talk about why I feel as though I have every right to call her the GOAT. Okay. Because, first of all, let's start with the assumption that Caitlin Clark is not done growing as a basketball player. All right. She has just played how many games in her professional career? 76. That's it. All right. So let's talk about what she's been able to do in those 76 games. Okay. First, let's talk about last night and the 123-88 pasting of the Connecticut Sun. Now, granted, they didn't have Brittany Griner, and she's a pretty darn good defensive player. Okay. Basically, they had a 35-point win. But last night, Caitlin Clark got her sixth double-double of this season. That's 6 double-doubles through 27 games. All right. She dropped 27 points and had 11 assists in 27 minutes of play. In fact, I don't know that she was even on the court in the fourth quarter because they didn't really need to put her out there in the fourth quarter. All right. The bench held its own, and they won by 35 points. But Caitlin Clark was a monster last night. She was setting everybody up. She was hitting threes. She was taking the ball to the hoop. It was honestly one of the greatest offensive performances I've ever seen. And I can say that in a week where she already had the most ridiculous offensive performance I've ever seen with 45 points and 10 assists in a game where, she and Kelsey Mitchell combined for 75 points of the team's 110. Okay. So let's look at all of these numbers here. Okay. So I just gave you that 6 double-double of this season last night against the Sun. She has 25 double-doubles over her WNBA career. All right. Now, her WNBA career consists of 76 games, mind you. Diana Taurasi had 21 double-doubles over a 20-year career. Okay. And Courtney Vandersloot has 62, but that's over 16 seasons. Okay. I honestly think Caitlin Clark can catch Courtney Vandersloot. There's no question about it. No question about it. Courtney Vandersloot over her 16th season has had 2 triple-doubles. Diana Taurasi had no triple-doubles in her 20-year career. Caitlin Clark already has 3 career triple-doubles in the WNBA. She also has 17 in her college career. And she got her 3rd triple-double in just 41 games, the fastest ever for anybody to get a 3rd double-double. Okay. She sits atop that number by herself there. So let's talk about the 45-point game. I already did this already, but I'm going to do it again. All right. So if you look at her at 45 points and 10 assists, right, in that game, and you assume that all of the assists were only on 2-point buckets, which was crazy because I know she set up Kelsey Mitchell a couple times, maybe three. If you just assume that the players that she set up on her team scored only 2-point buckets, she still accounted for 65 of the 110 points. Okay. And she scored 45 points herself in under 30 minutes. All right. On that night, she also became the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 200 career three-pointers. Right. So there are many reasons why I have the right to call Caitlin Clark the GOAT. No one is even approaching this. And I just don't understand the hatelins out there. I guess I can't understand it. They try to twist themselves into a knot. Explain it to me why she's not the greatest ever and why I can't call her the greatest ever. Well, yeah, I can. Okay, I can. I can. And I'm making the assumption that she's not done developing as a player yet. I've been saying that all along. And I mean that in all sincerity. We've got a long way to go here, folks. We got a long way to go through the second half of the season after the All-Star break. And, let me just say something about that, because that has become a point of consternation now that she was invited to participate in a three-point competition and she turned it down. I've never seen so much drama in my life. So what? Okay. Some ass clown said that she didn't deserve to be invited because her three-point shooting percentage isn't high. Well, I get some news for you, Bubba. Okay. I get some news for you. All right. There's a big difference between shooting in a game situation when people are bodying you, encroaching on your space, sticking their hand up in front of your face, and standing on a court in a competition where Caitlin Clark gets to shoot a three without being jumped at. I don't think that Caitlin Clark isn't participating because she doesn't think she'll do well. I just don't think Caitlin Clark feels like doing it. And if Caitlin Clark doesn't feel like doing it, Caitlin Clark ain't gonna do it. And I don't understand why we have to have continual, constant drama over this bullshit. Okay? She's not the only player who was invited who said no. All right? It's not a big deal. Okay? Maybe she does it next year. Maybe she doesn't. All right? It's like the drama surrounding this girl. I feel bad for her because it's unending, continual, utter bullshit 24/7. All right. And we're talking about a generational talent here, a legendary player. And as Miesha Hines-Allen said, she's going to be she's got a chance now to play with someone who's going to be one of the greatest players ever to play this sport. Okay. If we are considering Diana Taurasi, the old GOAT, okay? If we are considering, Courtney Vandersloot, a premier player, we are certainly going to consider Caitlin Clark a consequential player and a popular player to boot, who is bringing all kinds of new eyes to the WNBA, all kinds of new fans, all kinds of new money to the WNBA. All right. So, I've made several videos along these lines with statistics and real numbers in real time. And I'm not going to go over them ad nauseum for people. I'm sorry, but the people who are hatelins, their bullshit mystifies me. And honestly, I'm not even interested in hearing from them anymore. It's just aggravating and a waste of my time. So I'm going to tune them out. I'm going to tune them out, and I'm going to call Caitlin Clark the GOAT whenever the hell I feel like it. So look, I got a great video for you here tonight. All right. And, yep, it's there. It's sitting right there waiting. So this is a 20-minute video. We are not going to play all 20 minutes. I know I say that all the time, and it never ends up that way. I got that, but we're not playing all 20 minutes, all right? Because I need to get to bed. I know it's early. It's 7:37. That seems ridiculous to me, but they're remodeling my store, and I'm getting down to the end now. But the last 4 or 5 days has been insane when I tell you, all right? But be that as it may, I got a 20-minute video put out by the Indiana Fever of the best highlights from Caitlin Clark so far this season. And remember, this is just through 27 games, okay? And by the way, there has been a whole slew of things that the Indiana Fever have put out there on social media about Caitlin Clark, okay? So for people to say that the Indiana Fever don't celebrate her or give her enough of a push, they're dead wrong. I've got tons of stuff just amassed this week in my files that you haven't even seen yet, okay? And by the way, Caitlin Clark for the week of June 13th through the 19th is not only the AP Player of the Week, she is also, once again, the WNBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week, all right? And this is the second time she's won the WNBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week. She won it in June as well, okay? So once again, June 13th to the 19th, Caitlin Clark is not only the AP Player of the Week, but the WNBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week. So there's some more stuff we can put in that bag of GOAT evidence, all right? And I can tell you it won't be the last time either. So let's take a look at this video. Because I honestly, I'm sure I've seen some of these clips, but I've actually never sat and watched this particular video. So we're going to be doing this together. We'll try to get through 10 minutes, and then it's all on you. This video will be in the description of my video for you to enjoy, for your, I don't know, visual pleasure. So let's see what we got here. And I'm going to make this full page.
Nice move there from Jessica Shepard as Clark drops a dime in the lap of Hines Allen. Clark looking into Boston. What a feed, and Boston lays it in.
Over-helping, and then Dallas making the appropriate pass out of it, why they had 16 assists.
Cunningham off to Clark. Right wing three is good. There's the first three of 2026.
For Caitlin Clark. Starts off the third quarter with...
Here's Hines Allen getting it and going. Hand off Mitchell. Mitchell into the lane. Can't pop it in. Boston flings it out. Clark a deep three. You bet! Talks about what a smart cutter she is. How great she is off the ball. Clark behind the back. Oh my! A nifty dime.
Caitlin, as she's dribbling into the paint, has players cutting off of her. Hines Allen just knows that she's going to be there when she draws the big as...
Boston with 14. She's 5 of 7 from the floor. Smith, no. Clark the rebound, pushing pace for Indiana. Clark trying to go all the way in, reverses it home. Wants the screen from Boston. Clark bounces. Boston on the roll, lays it in. That two-man action is just so dynamic. Mitchell using the screen. Clark evades. 3 seconds. Clark the spin and the lay. Looking healthy on that finish. Big time finish from Clark. This presentation of the WNBA will continue after these messages in a word. Clark with haste through the lane will lay it in.
And they talk about wanting to be more aggressively at the point of attack, and that's exactly what LA does.
And welcome back to Los Angeles, Caitlin Clark.
When they get the rebound, she gets down court calling for the ball.
Clark finding Cunningham on the back cut because, as you mentioned, all that attention on Caitlin Clark in that close defeat to Dallas on Saturday. Great inbounds play to Harris. Down to 9 with 2:09 to go here in LA. Clark pass break. Caitlin Clark showing off the speed. She was mentioning she's just got back.
Billings, another offensive rebound. She's been really active. Clark backing up and dropping a three. Putting on the moves. Amor sticks with her. Clark. Bullseye!
Got it. This one here might have been a bit of a heat check as it was pressured, but that's a
Beaver with the ball here, down by 4. Mitchell back into the game. 14 points here tonight. Clark off the screen. Inside, Hines Allen for 2. We have not seen Aaliyah Boston here in a little bit. Clark thought about the 3. Circles around, fires away, and hits! Clark, oh, beautiful find! Mitchell finishes! The no-look pass and the no-look shot. And this young Washington group has answered right back. Hines Allen on a handoff to Clark. Oh, yeah! Will it be Mitchell? Will it be Clark? Cunningham looking. First it's Hines Allen. Handoff Clark for the tie. Yes! Caitlin Clark has tied the game with under 2 seconds left to play. 22 has done it again. Making here from Indianapolis. Caitlin Clark sends us to overtime because Sonia Citron's
sneak in there every time.
Clark shot fakes the 3, drives on McMahon, just blows by her in a pretty reverse.
Shout out to whoever was in the film room and said, hey, there should be 2 more assists there.
Oh, good cut and 5. Clark to Billings for the deuce. Couldn't get that little runner to go. Bounces off the back of the heel. Clark from just inside the logo. Take another look at that one.
Oh, man. Caitlin Clark just pulling up from one of her favorites.
The thing at this point in the season, this is the 4th game of a 44-game season. It is an abundance of caution. We want to be playing at the end as Clark hits the bucket and draws the foul. Clark, shot clock winding down, finding Hull on the cuts, and Lexi Hull floats it up and in.
And that's the chemistry.
After the Fever took the first, 32-19. Shot clock at 4. At 3, Clark, nicely done to Mitchell.
Threading the needle on that pass.
Yeah. Out of South Carolina. Clark, jump stop, and the finish. 21, 10, and 7 tonight for Caitlin Clark.
4 points in Indiana's 20-point win over Portland.
Caitlin Clark naturally changes the space on the floor, Pat. You have to come with a long closeout.
She started Charles 0 for 3 from the floor. Clark launches and hits!
Pure joy in the arena and forces a quick timeout. 7-zip, the Fever.
Here is Clark. It was slow to get back into the play. Clark whip inside. Hits Boston right on the money.
Really good ATO by Natalie Acosta. They get Tiffany Hayes going left with her left hand.
Clark just spins away from Hayes. Hayes fires and hits.
What a tough 2. Teammates, South Carolina.
Clark fire away and hits a 3. Lexi Hull doing it all on that defensive possession. Clark, oh, from another stratosphere.
A little chatter, too, goes a long way from the logo back to defense. From the logo. This is how you bring the roof down. All tied up here with 5:14 to go. That takes some time off the shot clock.
He's on Clark. This matchup starting to heat up. Clark on the drive, draws the foul, banks it home, and one for Caitlin Clark. Clark, oh, beautiful find, inside for Cunningham, and one, set up by Clark. Cunningham, end off Johnson, into a triple team, out to Clark, 3 more!
What started it for her was putting her head down and getting into the paint and creating some help somewhere and then kicking it. Here's Johnson to Clark. Fires for 3. It's her first one of the night. Clark goes down. No call. They force another turnover. Clark, the quick pass, whips it right to Cunningham. 500 career assists for Caitlin Clark. The fastest to do it in WNBA history. Isolation in the middle of the floor, just uses some elevation and athleticism to get that up. Right now, Gabby Williams on Caitlin Clark, and Burton was on Mitchell.
Here's Clark already working off ball, gets the pass from Hull. Enksler will defend her, the slip to Boston, the finish at the cup. Boston, the handoff to Clark. Clark corralled by 2. Clark, and another jumper off the heel, tapped alive by Boston. Clark in the paint. Retrieves the dribble. Mitchell, what a cut, what a delivery from Clark. Hard to believe Indiana still does not have a made 3. Boston doesn't get any easier than that catch and finish.
Get you caught between the switch and not switching, and that gives you that poor angle a lot of times on the closeouts to get to the basket.
Clark, the step back goal. First field goal.
For the Dream, and then, yeah, Hillman has to be an offensive threat when she catches it off a double team.
Clark off 1 foot.
And that's a tough shot.
Oh, sidestep, Clark. Set. Crowd coming alive at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Reese attacking, blocked by Boston.
Here, the step back going left. Her favorite.
3-second difference, shot and game clock. Pow on an island with Clark. Pow. Cross. Pow, nowhere to go. Suffocating defense from Indiana. Single-digit ball game. A lot of time left in this one. Clark going at Howard. Clark with 2 more.
Bit of a rock fight the last couple of possessions. This game tries to pick up some flow. Clark on the catch, shakes Astier. Step back, Clark for 3. She rattles it home. Clark over to Boston. Her 3 to beat the clock. No good. Hull bats it free for Indiana. Clark contested 3. She's able to knock it down.
Amore now goes inside. All right, this is what Indiana wants to do. Get out in transition. See what they've got. Clark from deep. She wanted that.
Okay, so we got to 10 minutes, all right? The last 10 minutes is on you guys, okay? We'll make sure that the link is in the description of the video. I mean, folks, look. She is not just a great statistical player. She is a great floor general. She is a very exciting player. And, you know, it's funny because I'm going to say this. I've been saying this for 2 years, maybe more. The most fearsome backcourt combination in the WNBA is Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, right? So you've got Kelsey Mitchell, who kind of just is quiet, right? She just puts her head down and, you know, does her job. Okay. So then you have Caitlin Clark, who's very emotional and, you know, gets really into it and loves to get the crowd into it every time she does something. And they are very close, not just on the basketball court, but personally as well. But they're very different from each other. But when people, make the comparison between her and Kelsey Mitchell, look, Kelsey Mitchell's been in this league for 9 years, okay? Caitlin Clark has been in this league for 76 games. Okay. And Caitlin Clark plays basketball because she loves to play basketball. Okay. She loves it. All right. She's competitive. She's fiercely competitive. You've heard her tell the story a number of times about how she, ruins family events and nights out with her friends because she's competitive in everything. I don't know if anybody has ever seen the interview she did with David Letterman on Netflix. I'm sure you can still see it. You can't record it and you can't download it. I've tried everything, but I've watched it maybe 5 times. And you've got to hear her tell the story about how she's been competitive as a kid. Trick-or-treating. She had to have more candy than everybody by the end of the night. It was like a competition for her. So this is the way she was in college. This is the way she is in the pros. And this is her personality. And I simply just don't think it's going to go away. And frankly, I wouldn't want it to go away. Okay. She's an exciting, dynamic, entertaining basketball player. And she reminds me a little bit of Larry Bird. Okay. Because Larry Bird was like that too. And that's what made him fun to watch. All right. So again, we have the All-Star game this weekend on Saturday, I believe. Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Leah Boston, all starters. Now, I believe Kelsey and Caitlin are on the same team. I think Aaliyah and Clark are on the same team. Kelsey was drafted by the other team. So it should be an interesting game to watch. I wish all 3 of them were on the same team, but they're not. Alas, they are not. But let's also mention that this is Caitlin Clark's 3 years in the league, 3 years as a starting all-star. Okay. There's just so much that this girl has done in her very short career that I feel bad for people whose whole reason for being is to sit around and try to dredge up reasons why Caitlin Clark's not one of the greatest players who ever put on a pair of sneakers already. Okay, and who knows where she's going to end up by the end of her career, but I can promise you one thing, she's not stopping here. So I will be back again, maybe tomorrow, but maybe on Saturday. And that's what I got tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And remember, it's in the description of this video. Go take a look at the last 10 minutes of it. I actually haven't even seen that, but I'm going to put it on as soon as I'm done here. You guys have a great night.